What's going on, everybody? Just trying to get everything set up here. And we should be good to go. Alright, a little early this morning, but seeing as I didn't have a video up today anyway, I kind of wanted to get it kicked off. Plus, I got some stuff to do later. So we're going to pick up right where we left off. Which, truth be told, I think was at Lord Espen's estate. Okay, here we go. So, right, yeah, so we got Beline's side quest, and then we have to take our records of our birth back to the capital.
I'll do it.
But first, we're going to finish clearing out these rooms to the side here, which should just be filled with more small scorpions.
Let's dance. Damn it. Damn it.
There's a few to the north of us there as well. I think there's one, yeah, there's one more big scorpion at least. There might be another one up here too. I don't know. Everybody's trying to pathfind around that door. She's gonna have to be healed. If she goes down, it's a game over actually, so we gotta heal her up.
I'll go wherever I'm needed.
A couple more. I think there might be one more big scorpion. Yeah, there it is.
Time to problem solve.
I'm always. Are you certain?
Summon some spiders there and get to moving. There's probably more combat right here than most of what I've played through so far, which is a while ahead, actually. But this place is crawling with enemies compared to most of the rest of the areas that I have found so far. But I believe that's everything. So we will head out the front door and then rest and then move on.
I'll do it.
And then we just need to travel back to
I'll go wherever I'm
the
needed.
capital, specifically the castle district. Take our records back to the Hall of Records, where hopefully we can be confirmed as Lord Espen's heir. Okay, here we go. So just right over here.
I'll do it.
Then we talk to the record keeper. So we can ask him a few questions, like what we'll get if we're confirmed as a nobleman, if we're, required to do anything, that kind of thing. But ultimately, he says, basically, it comes down to whatever the king says. And your half-brother Albnar basically forfeited all of his rights to everything because he, attacked the estate of your father. And we're about to have a meeting with the king. Which is just a little north of us in the castle.
I'll do it.
Alright, so we'll talk to the guards here and everything. And they will send us through. There's actually a little extra dialogue right there if you tried to go to the castle first, before the Hall of Records and everything. The guards will basically tell you to get lost, and there's a little extra dialogue if you have that scene afterwards. But that's only if you try to go to the castle first.
Ah, it's you. The reports I have read recommended you be elevated from the common rabble to the nobility. I intend to honor your birthright and make you the new head of the House of Espin. Quite a stroke of luck for you, I'd say.
Now, he'll basically confirm that he's going to establish us as a noble, but that essentially we have nothing, because all of Lord Espin's assets were already transferred to the king for lack of an heir, and he's not going to give them back because of the war. And as you might imagine, there's nothing we can really do about that. So, he gives us a quest to go to the smithy on Main Street and have a ring made. Which is primarily just busy work, but the ring is supposed to signify our status as a noble in town. And then we get stopped by Fingrer here, a Rillo emissary to the crown of Iselmereld. So they will invite you to the Garden of Delights, if you will. You come speak to the Rillo nations. And if you have Soraka in your party, they do not think highly of her, because if you remember, she is a heretic as far as the Rillo are concerned.
I'll do it.
We're off to Market Street again to talk to the smithy. Alright, so the smithy should be over here.
I'll do it.
This is pretty straightforward, to be honest. We just go ask him to make a ring, and I think you have to rest and then come back. Which I'm not wild about, because it's a lot of walking around for the sake of making you walk around. That said, if I'm not mistaken, there's a fast mode. Speed that up a little bit.
I'll do it.
What?
So, yeah, he'll tell you to go rest, and then we just come back and pick up our ring. Darius says, hey, you're the best reviewer on YouTube. Keep it up, sir. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's kind of you to say. Especially since a lot of work goes into those reviews.
I'll do it.
Mostly playtime, as you might imagine, especially the ones I do after 100%. I think on the low end they usually take like 50 hours, and that's just the time it takes to play the game. And in longer games, it's several hundred, potentially.
Hello.
Alright, so we're gonna rest. If anybody's unaware, you can actually pick what kind of room you want each person to rest in, which apparently is supposed to heal different amounts of health. And you have stuff like the scriptorium, which will let you identify things and stuff like that in your inventory. But we are just going to use a basic room, because we're not doing it for healing, we're just doing it to pass the time. Then we head right back to pick up our ring.
Ratings.
And then, right as we step outside, we are greeted by a messenger who sends us right back to the king. I'm not wild about this little section because it just always keeps like sending you to various people that are across town and through like 3 or 4 different really long loading screens. And it feels very tedious. But
I'll do it.
off we go nonetheless. It actually gets a little more interesting once you actually go back to the king here. He'll actually start sending you off to do stuff that is different than walking around town. Alright, back to the castle.
I'll do it.
Do one more loading screen. What's going on, Maniac Artist? I always love reading people's like YouTube names. Never fails to be interesting.
I'll do it.
Alright, now this guy will tell us basically we need to finish up any side quests we're on or whatever before we do this. That said, there's only like a couple side quests in the game right now, so it doesn't actually come up. MZ says I can't even pronounce his YouTube name. Well, it's the letters MZ, so I would assume it's just MZ.
Lords, ladies, I know that our dispute with Darren Gould has weighed heavily on the minds of everyone present. But you will all be very pleased to hear that a solution is nigh. It is true that these merchants and miners of the south have disappointed me, in the manner of a spirited but wayward child. Yet as you know, the Crown's mercy is boundless.
So he is going to send us with a diplomatic convoy to the...
Royal blessing and the full weight of my authority, brave messengers. Let no one stand in your path, nor lead you astray from your duty. Stand brave and do the good work of a Tslm, and let a lasting and prosperous peace be the fruit of your noble efforts.
Yeah, so he's sending us south with a diplomatic convoy to the rogue mining town of Darren Gould. And the nobles all make their jokes about it, because we're essentially a noble without any actual nobility. We don't have any money, because all of our assets were forfeited to the king because of what happened with Aldnar, your half-brother, and your father's estate. So he's sending literally the poorest noble possible to go negotiate with Darren Gould. And then we fast forward a little bit.
Is everyone gathered then? Can you all hear me?
What is this outrage? I'll have you know I am an official emissary of King Velianric, traveling on His Majesty's urgent business. You had best take your banditry elsewhere. Go rob some merchants or something.
Ah, but we are no mere bandits, my lord. We represent a much greater power.
What, are you ambushing travelers on behalf of Darren Gould? Because that is exactly where we're headed.
What's going on, Daily Cupcake?
Sure, I'll lay down my arms, right into your skull.
So we can either be like, he's under our protection, or we can ask him to step away from the group. That sounds funny.
You cannot be serious. I will not abandon this man to be murdered.
Our god demands it.
Ah, it's just sweet tea, man.
Peace until Velianric is thrown down and his silver had fallen.
Well, it's like 10 in the morning where I am, so it's definitely not anything else.
The pursuit of strife and death is the work of no god that I acknowledge.
That is not how one goes about achieving peace, sir. Believe me, negotiation and compromise is my life's work.
Silence! It's a pity you will never witness the world that is to come. But it cannot be helped. Shoot.
And they kill our diplomat. And the rest is actual combat. So we'll attack these guys. We'll get her to summon a wolf right on top of their mage. And see how that does. Yeah, pretty much did it. Maniac says he's looking forward to the game, and I am too. It's a little rough around the edges right now for sure, but you know, it's obviously just early access, so it's got plenty of time to sort some stuff out. From what I understand, they've been pretty active in their Discord talking about stuff they're planning on fixing.
Their eyes are all black. I've never seen the like. And they all have the same tattoo low on their necks. of a rose in full flower.
I'll do it.
Alright, so we found some sort of magic gambeson. Gold. Necromancer's robe. We found a bow for Hamlin, that's nice. Hardened leather armor. And whatever that is. Nice. We don't have a ton of arrows for it by any means, but Hamlin is better with a bow than what he's been using. There's that at least.
What is your wish?
There we go.
Yeah? I'll go wherever I'm needed.
Alright, I think... If I had to guess, Hamlin could probably use that hardened leather armor.
A beer would be nice.
Probably, anyway. Yeah.
It's nice to be needed.
And... Yeah, gloves are about the same and would actually lose some aim and accuracy by taking these off, so that'll do it there. I think we'll throw that on our... healer there. And then... Bajala, like... So she's about to level up, and they use this weird little blue, like, sparkly thing to note the level ups, and I just, like, I don't know, that doesn't strike me as, like, a level up icon, so I never think about it. I'm always thinking, like, status effect.
I'm always ready.
So it throws me off every single time I see it.
Why not?
B. Vargas says it looks like a good game, but he's still got to play through Pillars of Eternity and Tyranny at some point. And yeah, those are great games.
Of course.
I prefer Tyranny over Pillars, to be honest. Tyranny is really good. It's a shame more people haven't played that game. Alright, so I think all we have to do now is head to... or just head south, really. We don't have to actually head anywhere in particular. But... So where we're supposed to go is the rest of the way to Darren Gould here. We can also start exploring other areas. There's a few areas right here that are unlocked. I think we'll probably go for Darren Gould, though. If it'll let me. I think I might have picked the wrong side of the map. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Tyranny is a little shorter. That said, it's meant for like replayability more than anything. There's like 4 or 5 different paths through the game, and even those have some variations to them. So there's like 4 main paths, and then you can still do other stuff. You can actually, what do we call it? Betray your allies and stuff like halfway through certain paths, and then switch to one of the other paths. So they did a lot of fun stuff in that game. Alright, so we've arrived at Darren Gould. We can explain we're on our diplomatic mission. They refuse to let the convoy into the city, but we're free to enter. They give us the missive and then send us to go talk to the War Council. Now, I'm a little less familiar with everything here, like as far as side quests go. I've played up past this point a little bit, but I did not explore the town very much. I don't know... Oh, there's a giant. That's something. And he does not have anything to say. What a bummer. I figured the giant would, you know, at least give us a quest or something. Alright, we will go rest real quick though, and then probably just head south to the where we're actually supposed to go anyway. And there's a companion here in town we can pick up as well that I know about.
I'll do it. Hello?
Expensive to rest here. He says this city looks a lot like Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 1. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they did say the game was heavily inspired by Baldur's Gate, so you can kind of see a lot of those types of things here. Darius Ambrosas donated 10 euros. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. Did not watch any of your videos on this particular game, and I am looking for a new RPG to play next month. I never could get into Pillars, but love Tyranny to no end. Is this any good? Well, this is early access, so it's definitely rough around the edges. Honestly, unless you're just like super blown away by what you see, I would wait as this develops and kind of see where it goes. If you're looking for an RPG to play next month, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous launches on like Thursday, so there's something for you. What was I doing? Right. Forel says, hello all, hope you have a nice day, and I hope you have a nice day, man. It is Saturday after all, so hopefully at least most of us aren't working. Yeah, Wrath of the Righteous, I'm probably more excited about that game than I have been about just about anything this year. And then, in addition to... Darius says, thank you, and see the rest of it later. Gonna go play New Vegas. Fair enough. You have a great one too, man. In addition to Wrath of the Righteous, actually, there is Encased launching on September 7th, which I've covered a little bit of. Those videos are kind of old. I honestly will probably do something more up to date, closer to the 7th when it actually launches, to kind of go over that game. And then Game Deck, which is like a it's like a non-combat CRPG. It's like a detective type of thing in like a cyberpunk dystopia where you're just trying to solve like cyber crimes. That launches on September 16th, if my memory serves. So September is a pretty good month for CRPGs. And then on top of that, not that it's this channel's forte, but on the 31st, Maneater, that shark role-playing game, launches its DLC. And they're apparently going to let you play with a shark that has a laser on its head, which sounds absolutely hilarious to me. So I'm definitely going to be playing that. And like the actual game was like 8 hours, so I don't expect the DLC to last very long. The Mad Wiz says, Tyranny's awesome, kind of felt like it ended on a cliffhanger, hope to make a sequel. I wouldn't hold my breath on a sequel, but yeah, I would honestly hope they would as well. Again, I'm just not going to hold my breath on it. So Boleyn, the ghost at Lord Espen's estate, wanted to give Winona here something so Boleyn could rest in peace. I don't know if that worked or not, to be honest. She wants me to find a golden conch here or something, which I imagine is probably upstairs then.
Nobles caused our problems.
Hello?
So a lot of the people you talk to in Darren Gould will be super depressing, but that is because we learned about a plague that is gripping the city earlier. This is the only thing we can loot, so if the golden conch isn't here, and it's locked. Of course it's locked. Skills, lockpicking. Alright, so there's the golden conch. Oh, and she went. Okay, so I gotta take the conch back to Boleyn. That seems tedious.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Alright, so down here we can meet our other companion, and this big building right here is actually where we're supposed to go. B. Vargas says it's a shame that Pathfinder MMO never reached its potential. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know anything about it. Like I'm vaguely aware of what you're talking about. I think it was called like Pathfinder Online or something like that. I don't really know anything about it. Obviously, though, it's not very like super popular or anything. So we can explain that we've got a message for the War Council, and they send us in. Deferral asks, how many companions can you recruit? There is 5 in game that I know of. There's at a minimum 3 more that are confirmed, but I don't know if they're actually in the early access or not because I haven't found them. And if there's any more beyond that, I have no idea. I think most games like this usually shoot for between 10 and 15, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is a couple more. Okay, so we're at the War Council that we were sent to go find. And we can basically just pass on the king's letter here.
Mongrel or thief?
Our half-brother, Lord Aldnar, who killed our father, is here with the Darren Gould War Council. And we're going to say, I don't bandy insults with outlaws and patricides.
Lord Aldnar, your temper serves you better on the battlefield than in council. We, all of us, have more pressing questions to attend to. Lord Aldnar, your temper serves you better on the battlefield.
I just randomly repeated his dialogue there.
Please enlighten us as to the purpose of this diplomat contingent.
Alright. So, we're just going to tell the truth, number 1 there. Weed Dizzy Dave asks, can you make your own companions like in Kingmaker? I believe that's the goal. I don't believe it's in early access, but I'm pretty sure they mentioned that being the goal. Like that you'll be able to like recruit mercenaries or whatever you want to call it. But as far as I know, you can't do it in early access. At least right now.
Here, here. Explain yourself, boy.
So, they're asking how we were appointed as a noble, and we can explain the truth, which is number 2, that we were Lord Espen's heir by a woman named Clea. Or we can make terrible things. We can actually lie and say we snuck into the Hall of Records, or we can just insult Aldnar's mom, which seems a little under the belt. I think we're just going to tell the truth, though. B. Vargas says the graphics look nice and polished with good animation. I recently completed Baldur's Gate 1 Enhanced Edition, and while enjoyable, it looks very rough in comparison. Yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate 1 is like, 23 years old, I think, off the top of my head. And this, it looks good in this view, but once you have like the character menus up and it's showing your characters, those visuals are a little rough. Alright. So we can basically lie about what the king promised. Or we can tell the truth. Now, truthfully, they're not happy either way, because the king sent a missive that explains exactly what he wants. And that is the disarming and demobilization of the army, an increase in taxes by 20%, in addition to the current taxes, and 75% of their ore to be shipped to the capital without compensation.
Outrage upon outrage.
And the last is that they need to surrender the war council of half of their lands to be selected by the king. Which are pretty outrageous demands for the town literally responsible for almost all of your kingdom's, like, minerals.
To the honor of Darren Gould, especially coming from a nameless, low-born swine such as them. Velianric sent a common gutter snipe to speak on his behalf. What does that say of his intentions? I've spent too much time on this nonsense already.
This is going nowhere.
And we just see all the lords here complaining. And one of the diplomats asked us to meet him over here.
I'll do it.
Forel says, ouch, extortion, more like, yeah, that's basically what it is. Frelsey here actually kind of explains the situation a little better.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. And I'd like it if we were meeting under different circumstances.
Now, Frelsey here will explain that he knew our father. And he'll also explain that while we've come to Darren Gould under, like, that house's name, he basically explains that situation to us, if you will. And Frelsey will explain that he reached out to your father when the rebellion began, hoping that he would understand. And he didn't, because Lord Espen actually pledged himself to the king instead. And they basically sent you, who's, been stripped of all of that stuff, here to negotiate with them.
Sent you here as an insult.
So basically, the king sent you here just to insult Darren Gould. And as Frelsey points out, obviously the terms that the king sent aren't exactly amicable, and really, they're just one way of saying that he's only going to accept them being dead. So we can ask what we can do about it. And we can ask what the deal with Darren Gould is, because it's pretty terrible out there. And he'll explain that in addition to the plague that's been going around, the mines have recently shut down because people have been disappearing off the streets. So in classic Baldur's Gate style fashion, we have to go investigate a mine next. Antonio says Aldnar looks nothing like how he sounds. He looks like he'd sound like that Dorsey guy from the beginning of Wasteland 3. Yeah, kind of. I mean, he does kind of have that guy's general face, too. Alright, so nothing really more for us to do here. So we'll go back outside and then we'll talk to Arvex, which is the other companion we can pick up. As soon as we get the rest of the way out of here,
I'll do it.
because where would we be without one more loading screen? Yeah, some of these loading screens are ridiculous. There's a ton of them. Some of them take like a minute. Oh, that's weird. Arvex isn't here. Might be because it's nighttime. The other companion is normally standing like literally right next to these boxes, but I wonder if that's just because it is nighttime outside. But that's alright, because we're actually headed to an inn next anyway, and then it'll be daytime once we rest, and then we'll come back and see if he's standing there. So we gotta head to Darren Gould South, go to an inn to talk to that lord's friend, who will then send us on to the mines. Alright, so we just gotta come to the inn down here. The Curious Cat. There's just a random body on the ground over here. That's about the state of things in Darren Gould. Alright, then we need to talk to...
I'll do it.
I think they're literally just named, yeah, like so-and-so's friend.
Espen? Hello, Lord Espen. We've been waiting for you.
Alright.
Perhaps you have heard that the war it did go now.
And she sends us on to the mines, like I mentioned. So, then we can rest, make it daytime. I also asked for some rumors and stuff. But apparently doesn't have much to say. And we are good to go, and then we can head back to the main part of town to see if Arvex is there now that it should be daytime. Which is the other companion. I've been up since like yesterday morning, so pushing like 30 hours now. I gotta tell you guys, I'm exhausted. And once I get done streaming here, I'm probably gonna go crash for a little while. Take a nap. Alright, so hopefully Arvex is... No, he's still not there. That's really weird. Curious. Oh well. Well, off to the mines then. We Dizzy asked why I was up so long. I am trying to get content together for Wrath of the Righteous' launch. Can't really say anything beyond that, to be honest. And then time got away from me a little bit, and the next thing I knew it was 5 in the morning, and then I was like, oh, Jesus. I had to go do some other stuff. Alright. Now we go all the way down here, then we can head to the mines from here. Fast mode. Alright, so then we can find the mines. Yeah, it was basically just a long work day. I mean, at the end of the day, I was just playing like video games for the most part, so it's not like it was the end of the world, but still.
I'll do it.
Alright, so now I just have to find the entrance to the mines, which I know where it is already. I'm just curious, because I actually never walked over here. And there's some bandits.
Let's dance.
Alright, they went down pretty easily. Yeah, some more arrows for Hamlins. That's nice, I guess. Nothing really else for us that we don't already have. Alright.
Off I go. I'll go wherever I'm needed.
I believe these guys will point you towards what's happening in the mines, yeah. Apparently all of their mine shafts have collapsed as well, which makes it very hard for them to do any actual work. And there's an entrance to the mine there, and then I believe there's one more. There's like a bunch that are caved in, and I think there's one more entrance to them. This guy's robbing this corpse, which we can confront him about. Now we can either rob him of the stuff he just robbed that guy from, or we can basically attack him, which is excessive, to be honest, but oh well. Oh yeah, we never identified that gambeson from earlier, which is a noble's coat, which grants us bargain, persuasion, and cold resistance, but is pretty much a downgrade otherwise in terms of actual defense. Might hold on to it just for the bargain and persuasion, though.
Of course.
Before says flood the mine, problem solved. Yeah, basically. When I first played through this and I saw that they had you investigating a mine like this early in the game, I was like, oh wow, they really took that inspiration from Baldur's Gate to heart. It's not even just like investigating a mine, it's investigating a mine under basically the exact same circumstances of there are people disappearing. And I was like, alright, that's a little on the nose, guys. Alright, so this first part is actually kind of a weird puzzle, if I remember correctly. And a couple of enemies, but not too many.
Let's dance.
But there's like well, you'll see it here in a minute. It's like a puzzle. Very odd puzzle too. Yeah, so this thing, you gotta interact with this plant in a certain way to get it to drop a rune stone out of the melon, which is just odd, to be honest. So if you investigate, you can find out that it's a specific type of plant, and we have to proceed through a series of symbolic gestures in the correct order representing the seasons. Starting with one of the seasons late in the year seems like a good idea. We go for fall, but it's not that one. Shake a few leaves. Nope. Then we'll try that one. And then it was the stand between, and I think sunlight is next. Nope. I would have assumed that that was spring or whatever, but I guess not. And then lastly... Okay, now we can grab the melon, which has a rune stone in it, which then opens up the next door. And then I guess we can choose to eat the melon. Personally, I probably wouldn't, but let's see what happens. Oh, it doesn't actually let you eat it. That's a bummer. Like, I knew you'd get the runestone regardless, but I was hoping it'd actually let you eat the thing. Okay. Bunch of mushrooms. We'll explore some of these mine shafts. I don't know what's down every single one of these. There is a...
You'll pay for that.
Is that a non-hostile ghoul? And I guess I just ran over a trap, didn't I? Yeah.
You'll pay for that.
That's weird.
You'll pay for that. I have need of you. You'll pay for that.
And this ghoul tells us that someone is practicing necromancy here in the lower tunnels. And he would like us to bring their hearts back to him, and he will give us a sword as compensation. Well, sounds like a good time to me.
Of course.
Alright, and then the door down is like this little rune stone door over here, which we can only get through if we have that rune stone.
Yes?
Man, our main guy just keeps tripping these fire traps. Jeez.
I needed that organ.
I'll never
There's a
your
ghoul.
shield me.
I needed that organ.
Or, everybody, come on now.
Time to problem solve.
Another ghoul heart.
On my way.
I wonder if this other one has a ghoul heart. We killed another ghoul over here. Oh, gee. I'm not even seeing these traps as I'm hitting them. Definitely taking damage from them, though. Alright, then our main guy has way too much stuff, so we'll have to drop some of it, which a lot of it's useless anyway. Yeah, so he also has a ghoul heart, and then we'll give that to you, because I think you're just wearing a plain robe. Yeah.
Yeah?
Bag of hearts. Gross. Okay, so what can we get rid of? We'll keep the staff. Probably drop some of his armor because we don't need it. We'll keep one of the noble coats. Don't need these stones at all. Don't need this infantry arming sword. That's the beginner's sword that we had. We can equip our signet ring that we got in the city. And that cleared out some weight for us.
That seems like the place to be.
Then we will gather the party and then rest over here in the main room before we go down because I keep tripping those damn fire traps.
I'll do it.
And then here's our path down. And I'm gonna, yeah, make sure there's not any ghouls or anything hanging around. Okay. Get everybody to walk over there. Nice. So we're looking for necromancers in a mine.
I'll do it.
There's a couple ghouls.
Let's dance.
Hamlin leveled up after one-shotting that ghoul there. Nice. Alright, pick up their hearts. Level up Hamlin. We'll give him more brewing and dying since that's what he's got. Pick box. Give him 2 points in bows and arrows. And he gets to pick from a special ability. Which I think we're going to go with for the eyes because he's using a bow.
I'll go wherever I'm needed.
More ghouls.
Time to problem solve.
You'll pay for that. Damn it.
Just have to have another fire trap. 3 more ghoul hearts. Which I think might be... It's getting there. Alright, we'll
Yes.
have our healer heal those 2 real quick.
I'm going.
Oh, party level ups. I did not know. I didn't see this. First tab on the party sheet is party level. Each time your party levels up, you can choose a pair of party perks, one for cohesion and for diversity. Depending on your cohesion and diversity meters, some or all of these perks will be active on your party. You can add your desired perk pressing the plus button on the right of it. It would be nice if they told me what they... Okay, there we go. You can increase the weight limit. Decreases chance of us being ambushed. Control loss of status effect. All party members gain plus to their base health. Regain value during a rest. All party gain more of their spells and abilities back. 5 increased damage over lower percentage. Disabling effects are reduced. 3% status chance. 2 trade. Well, I'm going to pick Shared Burden because, honestly, our weight limit is really low. Oh, we get to choose both. I thought it was just one. Yeah, sure. Sounds better than the rest of them. That's cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Keep on trucking here. Says I just spotted an enemy. Oh no, I spotted a trap. Where's it at? Hold on.
Yes.
Use magical perception. Where is this trap she supposedly?
On my way.
Oh, come on. It said I spotted a trap, but then it didn't actually show the trap for me to disarm.
I needed that organ.
And that's for the ghoul up here.
I'm always ready.
Alright, gonna have her throw some spiders up here. Okay, we're gonna have her pacify the Necromancer.
It's nice to be needed.
Everybody else is gonna kill the Necromancer. Oh no. There we go, okay. There's a lot of ghouls. Oh, they're all dying. Okay, yeah. Now that he died, I was hoping that when they all went down. Motat asks, will you play through Pathfinder? I will. Before said the main character loves fire. I guess so. Yeah, I'm definitely going to play through Pathfinder. I had to stop streaming it for reasons that would be apparent in like a week. Okay, so we picked up this Warden half bracelet, which gives us +1 to focus, so we'll give that to our mage. Let's have our weird bag of hearts there.
What do you wish of me?
Alright.
Are you certain?
Yeah, that seems like the place to be.
Alright, we're going to try to rest real quick because we still need to go explore here and this room over here in the corner.
I'll do it.
Another fire trap, of course. Literally right after I rested. I think there's another one on the end of this. Yeah, there we go. There was 2 of them. Like, it's showing that I'm detecting the traps, but then it's not showing them for me to actually disarm.
You know, I could hear you coming since you first stepped foot into my sanctuary.
We made a joke about not waking the dead. Alright, she's trying to justify being a necromancer. She admits they're kidnapping the Darren Gould citizens to tribute them to some goddess. Does not know where the plague is coming from, though. And it looks like we're gonna have to fight. We'll have
We'll find a solution.
her summon her little wolf.
What next?
We're gonna have her see if we can't pacify
I'm listening.
that one. He's gonna cast his. Well, our 2 warriors are gonna cast their defensive buffs. Okay, and we're gonna get up there. We're gonna go there. Hamlin, start shooting the rays. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I pacified their main person, and that made for a pretty easy fight. Though she seems to have some sort of damage aura. But pacifying her basically just ended that fight. Book of Zoria. Woolen gloves. Ominous granite. Oh, ominous garnet staff. Thought it said granite. Like, that's weird. Book of Zoria, which is what we needed for the quest. Zoria is like the, I want to say that's their goddess of, like, greed. I think that was what I read.
Of course.
But that is what we needed for the quest, so... Yeah, we're supposed to head back to the inn and tell them about it. And they also mentioned clearing out the rest of the ghouls because that is, of course, the dead villagers that have gone missing. And we'll rest one more time, step through what I'm sure is probably more traps somewhere down here, and kill, hopefully, some more ghouls down in that bottom left corner, and then we should be good to go.
On my way.
Yeah, there was a trap, but I resisted it, so that was nice. There's another ghoul. Whoa, there's a bunch of speed. Whoa, alright. There's a bunch of stuff over here.
I'm always ready.
Alright, we'll have her cast spiders. We'll go from there. We'll have everybody focus on these guys. Oh no, that's not gonna... Well, one of the necromancers is dead. Oh no. Well, that did not go well. There's a ton of them down there. Okay, where's Soraka? See if she can heal our main guy before he dies. There we go. Okay, we're in good shape. All the ghouls finally just disappeared after I killed the guy who summoned them. It just took him a second. That was a little sketchy. I thought we were going to die there for sure. Hearts, hearts. Oh, she summoned her wolf way late. That's funny.
That seems like the place.
I think that's all of the hearts. Should be everybody, I believe. Whoa. Hold on, just messed up my stuff. Accidentally clicked off the screen there and got everything all jacked up.
I'll go
Alright.
wherever I'm needed.
So now we can head back up. Probably turn all these hearts into that ghoul. See what he gives us. And then go turn the mine quest back in as well. Okay, so we're gonna walk back over to that talking ghoul, turn that in, see what kind of sword he's gonna give us, since that's what he said he was gonna do. Turn fast mode on. Apparently I missed one somewhere. Which means it's probably just lying on somebody's dead body. I don't feel like going and looking for it, so we're just going to go turn in the mine quest.
I'll do it.
And away we go. So those necromancers were the cause of the disappearances, but they have no idea where the plague came from. Because they didn't cause the plague, according to them. Which is interesting. I kind of figured it would be both at the same time there.
I'll do it.
Okay. We go into the inn. talk to Frelsey's friend, see what she has to say.
The cult of Zoria is active again. It has been many years since they last cursed these lands with their filth and sordid dreams. But they were not merely haunting the mines, no. Those were but a few, a finger to the hand, perhaps merely a finger to an entire body.
And she's sending us to a vineyard to the north to root out more of them. And Helgenhar leveled up. Alright.
Oh, wherever I'm needed.
Nice. Alright, then from there, I think we'll go turn in Boline's quest real quick. We got that conch from her house that she asked us to bring back to her ghost so she could rest in peace. Valley of the Singing Tree. Now the vineyards we need to go to, I assume, is this Vintner's Grove. Because that's north of that clearing it said we had to go through. But we will probably turn this ghost quest in and then call it before I fall asleep sitting in this chair, to be honest. Right.
I'll do it.
Okay, and Boline is up here.
I'll do it.
Hello. Do you have it? Did you bring the golden conch? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I never doubted you. I wish the whole household could return for this moment, so I could shout your praise.
Obviously no reward, but decent chunk of XP actually. 2 people leveled up there. We get a spell. Yeah, we get a spell we can learn. We'll pick up the sparkle. Nice. And then Soraka also leveled up. Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that is where we're going to call it, and somehow the exact same place we started. But I need to get some sleep. I gotta take a nap or something. Like I said, I've been up since yesterday morning. But I hope everybody enjoyed the video, or the stream rather. And, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.